You can finish an entire bottle of water during a heat wave and still feel dizzy, weak, headachy, and strangely thirsty. That sounds impossible. Water is supposed to fix dehydration. So you drink another glass, then another. Soon, you are making repeated trips to the bathroom, but you still do not feel normal. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Water is essential, but during extreme heat, water alone is not always the complete solution. That does not mean plain water has stopped working. It means hydration is not a contest to see how much liquid you can force into your body. Real heat safety depends on several things working together: replacing fluid, replacing what heavy sweating removes, drinking at the right pace, eating normally, and, most importantly, helping your body cool down. By the end of this video, you will know why drinking more can sometimes fail to make you feel better, when electrolytes actually matter, how food contributes to hydration, why chugging is not the same as hydrating, and how to recognize the moment when a heat problem has become a medical emergency. But first, one rule matters more than everything else in this video. If someone is confused, fainting, having a seizure, losing coordination, or becoming extremely hot, do not tell them to simply drink more water and remain where they are. Move them away from the heat, begin cooling them, and seek emergency help. A dangerous heat illness is not just a water shortage, it is a failure of the body's cooling system. To understand the hydration lie, imagine your body as a house with a powerful air conditioning system. When the temperature rises, your brain sends more blood toward the skin. Your sweat glands release fluid. As sweat evaporates, it carries heat away from the body. This is one of the main ways humans prevent their internal temperature from climbing too high. Here is another detail that surprises people. Humidity changes the entire equation. Sweat cools you mainly when it evaporates. On a very humid day, the air is already holding so much moisture that sweat evaporates more slowly. You may be drenched and still continue gaining heat. That is why saying, "I am sweating, so my body must be cooling normally," can be a dangerous assumption. Sweating shows that your body is trying to cool itself. It does not prove that the cooling is keeping up with the heat. And sweat is not distilled water. It contains water and electrolytes, especially sodium and chloride, with smaller amounts of minerals such as potassium. These minerals help support fluid balance, nerve communication, and muscle function. That is why hours of heavy sweating can leave you feeling different from a normal day when you simply forgot to drink. You are not only losing volume, you are losing part of the mixture your body uses to function. This is where many hydration messages become misleading. One side says, "Only water matters." The other side says, "Everyone needs electrolyte powder every day." Both messages are too simple. For most healthy people doing ordinary activities, plain water and normal meals are usually enough. Food naturally supplies sodium, potassium, and other nutrients. You do not need a bright sports drink every time you walk to the mailbox in summer. But the situation changes when sweating becomes heavy and prolonged. Think of endurance exercise, outdoor construction, farm work, long hikes, sports tournaments, or several hours in hot and humid conditions. In those situations, a balanced electrolyte drink may help replace some of the salt lost in sweat. The key phrase is, match the drink to the situation. Electrolytes are not magic. They are not a cure for every headache, and more sodium is not automatically healthier. People with certain heart, kidney, blood pressure, or fluid balance problems may need very different advice. But when sweat losses are large and sustained, replacing only water may not address everything that has been lost. Now consider another confusing experience. You drink a huge glass of water, and 20 minutes later, you need the bathroom. It feels as though the water passed straight through you without doing anything. But that is not what happened. Your digestive system absorbs plain water very effectively. The bathroom trip may simply mean you drank more fluid faster than your body needed at that moment. Your kidneys constantly adjust how much water and dissolved material stays in your body and how much leaves in urine. Hydration is therefore better understood as a steady supply than a one-time rescue mission. Imagine trying to water a plant with an entire week's water in 10 seconds. The soil may not need that much at once. A steadier pattern fits the plant's needs better. Your body is far more complex than a flower pot, but the lesson is useful. Drinking regularly is often more practical than ignoring thirst for hours and then trying to catch up with a giant bottle. There is also a limit to the idea that more can never hurt. During prolonged exercise or heat exposure, forcing excessive amounts of fluid can dilute the sodium concentration in the blood. This dangerous condition is called hyponatremia. It is uncommon in everyday life, but it is one reason the advice, drink as much as physically possible, is not responsible advice. The goal is not maximum water. The goal is appropriate hydration. Now let us talk about a surprisingly useful part of the solution: eating your water. This phrase can sound like a wellness gimmick, so let us be precise. Water inside food is not magical water. It does not replace the need to drink. But foods with high water content contribute to your total daily intake while also providing carbohydrates, minerals, vitamins, and sometimes protein. Watermelon, cucumber, lettuce, oranges, strawberries, tomatoes, yogurt, soups, and smoothies can all add meaningful fluid to your day. National dietary data suggests that food can provide roughly 1/5 of total water intake for many adults, although the amount varies widely depending on what a person eats. This matters during a heat wave because hydration does not have to come from a bottle alone. A bowl of yogurt with fruit, a tomato and cucumber salad, a chilled soup, or slices of watermelon can support your total fluid intake. A normal meal can also replace some of the sodium and potassium lost during ordinary sweating. So no, watermelon is not replacing your water bottle. It is helping the bottle do its job. Now let us turn all of this into a practical heat wave plan. Step 1. Cool the body, not just the mouth. This is the most overlooked step. If you are becoming overheated, stop strenuous activity, move into shade, an air-conditioned building, or another cooler place. Loosen or remove unnecessary clothing. Cool the skin with water, wet cloths, a fan, or wrapped cold packs placed near areas such as the neck and armpits. Drinking water while continuing to exercise under direct sun is not a complete heat safety strategy. Your body may be gaining heat faster than it can release it. In that situation, the environment must change. Think of a car engine with a damaged cooling system. Pouring more fuel into the tank will not solve the overheating. The engine needs to cool. Step 2. Drink regularly instead of dramatically. Do not wait until the end of a long, hot afternoon to remember hydration. Keep water available. Take regular drinking breaks during sustained activity. Adjust for temperature, humidity, clothing, workload, body size, acclimatization, and personal health. There is no universal bottle count that fits every person. A small adult sitting indoors does not have the same needs as a large worker wearing protective equipment outdoors. Someone who is newly exposed to heat may also struggle more than someone whose body has gradually adapted. For moderate work in the heat, occupational guidance often recommends frequent small amounts rather than large, infrequent drinks. Treat that as a workplace safety framework, not a personal prescription for every viewer. Your urine can offer a rough clue. Dark urine or urinating less than usual may suggest that you need more fluid. But urine color is not a perfect hydration test. Foods, supplements, medications, and medical conditions can change it. Use several signals together: thirst, urine pattern, heat exposure, sweat loss, energy, dizziness, and how your body feels. Step 3. Keep eating. Heat can suppress appetite, which creates a hidden problem. When people skip meals but continue sweating, they may lose both fluid and dietary electrolytes. Choose foods that are easy to tolerate. Fruit, vegetables, yogurt, soup, rice dishes, sandwiches, and ordinary balanced meals can all play a role. You do not need a perfect hydration food. You need a pattern that supplies fluid, energy, and nutrients without making you feel uncomfortably heavy. If you have been sweating lightly during normal daily life, water plus regular meals is often a reasonable combination. If you have been sweating heavily for hours, step 4 becomes more relevant. Consider balanced electrolyte replacement. Look for a drink designed to replace fluid and electrolytes rather than an energy drink loaded with stimulants. A sports drink may be useful during prolonged sweating, but it is not compulsory for every hot day. Some people may prefer an oral rehydration solution in situations involving significant fluid loss from illness, but that is a different use case and should not be confused with routine heatwave hydration. Avoid taking salt tablets unless a qualified healthcare professional has specifically told you to use them. Concentrated salt is not a harmless shortcut. Step 5. Reduce the heat load before it starts. Schedule outdoor activity for cooler parts of the day when possible. Take breaks. Wear lightweight, loose-fitting clothing. Use shade. Increase exposure gradually if you are not accustomed to the heat. Check on older adults, children, outdoor workers, athletes, pregnant people, and anyone taking medicines that can affect sweating, urination, circulation, or alertness. And never leave a person or animal in a parked vehicle. The temperature inside can rise rapidly, even when the day does not seem extreme. Now let us separate heat exhaustion from heat stroke. Heat exhaustion can cause heavy sweating, weakness, headache, dizziness, nausea, thirst, irritability, and muscle cramps. The person needs to stop activity, move to a cool place, begin cooling, and drink fluids if they are awake and able to swallow safely. Heat stroke is different. Warning signs include confusion, altered behavior, slurred speech, loss of coordination, seizures, loss of consciousness, or a very high body temperature. The skin may be hot and dry, but the person may also still be sweating heavily. Waiting for sweating to stop can waste valuable time. Heat stroke is a medical emergency. Call local emergency services. Begin rapid cooling. Stay with the person. Do not force drinks into someone who is confused, vomiting repeatedly, losing consciousness, or unable to swallow safely. Here is the central idea to remember. The hydration lie is not that water is useless. Water is the foundation. The lie is that every heat problem can be solved by simply pouring in more of it. Sometimes the missing piece is steady timing. Sometimes it is food. Sometimes it is replacing electrolytes after prolonged heavy sweating. And sometimes the real emergency is not dehydration at all. It is dangerous overheating that requires immediate cooling and medical help. So during the next heat wave, ask a better question. Not, how much water can I force myself to drink? Ask, what is my body losing? How hot am I becoming? And what does the situation require? Drink regularly. Eat normally. Use water-rich foods as support. Match electrolytes to real sweat loss. Get out of the heat before symptoms become severe. And remember, the smartest hydration strategy is not the biggest bottle. It is the right response at the right time. Stay cool, stay aware, and stay genuinely hydrated. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Science Says Health for more simple, science-backed health explanations that help you understand what your body is trying to tell you.